Good morning, everyone. It is Bev. I hope you guys are doing wonderful on this Friday morning. It is cold and rainy and windy here in San Antonio, and I'm loving it. So I thought, what an appropriate day to work on this super cute centerpiece of a snowman, right? I don't think we're going to be getting snow, but maybe that'll help us get into the holiday spirit. So let me just kind of go over some things real quick with you guys, especially if you could not find this bird feeder. Let me just take him off, sit him over here. So now this bird feeder, as you can see, this came from Michael's. This was in their spring collection, and they did have some of these left over. I wasn't sure if the other Michaels would, but what I want to explain is if you don't find one of these, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you an alternative solution. Okay, so I'm going to just set this over here. So what you want to do is get you a candlestick. Now, this one I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It was $11.99 with 40% off. It's the Robert Stanley Home Collection. The item number is 5396437. It's very lightweight, and it has a flat top, which is really important. That's what you're looking for, is the flat top type of candlestick, not the kind that holds the taper, but you want the kind that holds the big round one. Next thing you want to get is the wood. Now, I'm all out of the larger pieces of wood that comes in a package like this. Excuse me. But I have the smaller one here, and I'm just going to show you as a demonstration, okay? So this larger one, these are 10 inches in diameter. You'll find these over in the wood section. The item number for this one is 220004. So you want a package of the 10 inch, and they come 3 to a package. You will be using the other 2, so don't worry about that. But just for demonstration purposes today, I'm just going to show you what we're going to do if you can't find the bird feeder, how to use this. And I'm going to be using the 6.5 inch just for demonstration. So we're just going to pretend that this is 10 inches. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to take your disc, your wooden disc. And by the way, these are not expensive at all. $3.99, okay, $4 for the 10 inch, and they are 40% off every other week. The 6 inch, and in the 6 inch you get, how many do you get? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 6. You get 6 of these for $2.99, $3. You will be using these in future projects. All right. So anyway, you want to take your piece of wood, you want to lay it down flat. You want to take the top of this and turn it over. And what you're wanting to do is you want to get this in the center of your, I know that's hard to see, but I hope you guys can see this. In the center of the ring is best you can. And you might need to just kind of do a little measurement, okay, just to make sure it's kind of as close to even all the way around. So from the edge of the top of the candlestick to the edge of the wood, it's roughly 1 inch. Okay, all the way around. So this is centered. So then the next thing you want to do is you want to take a pen or a pencil, doesn't matter, and you just want to draw your circle. Okay, so here is our circle drawn. I hope you can see that. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your hot glue your hot glue, and you are going to put glue all the way around that circle line and a little bit on the inside, all the way around. While that's still hot, you're going to take this, flip it upside down, and what I do is I just kind of press on it just a little bit, and then you're going to take your glue again, and right where the metal meets the wood along that seam, you're going to put a bead of the hot glue all the way around, and you're done, okay? The reason why you want to use the 10-inch is you want that circle to be larger, so that way your little guy is going to sit right on top. So as you can see, this 6-inch is way too small, because what we want to do is on the 10-inch, and if you can get a 12-inch, that would be even better. You want some lip, the wooden lip, to stick out, because that's where your gaps and cracks is going to come in. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your gaps and cracks, and you're going to start about a 1/2 inch from the edge, and you're going to spray your gaps and cracks all the way around the edge. Excuse me. And then you're going to just fill it in. Now you see how I put quite a bit. See how thick that is? You want to build it up like a mound. And the reason why is when you sit your this little guy on top, you have some room here to work to put all your greenery, because you don't want him so low that he's hidden by the greenery, okay? So you want to make sure he sits up kind of high. So that's why on the wooden disc, what you're going to do, like I said, you're going to start about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, I should say, around the edge, and you're going to go all the way around, and then you're just going to start kind of building it up. Now, it's going to take you about 24 hours for that to dry, expand, and cure. I want to show you on my mannequin head. I kind of did the exact same thing with her. So if you can see on the mannequin head, I did the same thing with her. Now, if you look at it from underneath, you can see where some of it kind of expanded past. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife and I'm just going to shear that off even with the edge of the wood. Here's a prime example. This is one of the 10-inch. Let's just hold this upside down. So see, if you put that on that 10-inch, you're going to have enough room to grow your gaps and cracks, so he's going to sit up a bit higher. So I'm hoping that's making sense to you. But so anyway, that's what you're going to do with the wooden disc and your candlestick. Now this candlestick, let me just sit her back over here, out of the way. This candlestick is roughly the same height as this. If you sit them side by side, let me lower that. If you sit them side by side, they're roughly the same height. This does come in 2 sizes, the shorter one and a taller one, and you can definitely tell which one's the taller because he is like really, really tall. So unless you want him tall, I wouldn't get the tall one. So like I said, if you cannot find this bird feeder, and the reason why it's called a bird feeder is it's got these 2 little birds right here. These will be covered up. You're not going to be able to see these. And this was $38. It was in the spring collection at Michael's, and I got this at 75% off. Okay, and I just thought this would be perfect. I did ask the lady at Michael's if she thought that other Michael's might have some of these. She said it's possible. But I thought, okay, let me think of an alternative that you guys can use in case you can't find this. So I came up with this, which is the same concept that I used on the mannequin head. Okay, so again, you want to get you a silver candlestick. If you cannot find silver, get you wood. Get you a piece of wood and spray paint it silver. You want it silver because this is going to be a winter theme. And winter and white and silver all go together. And then your 10-inch, not the 6, but the 10-inch disc. All right. So that's, I hope that helps with this part of it. So I'm going to set all of this off to the side. Let me just move this off the table. So now that brings us to getting this guy ready. All right. So as you can see, I've got this big mound of gaps and cracks. These little birds, I can't take them off, or maybe I can. Can I take these off? Well, I'm just going to push them in because once I get all my green on here, you're not going to see these little birds. See these little birds right here? I think maybe if I work them, I might be able to take them off. Let's see. And what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of hot glue right there let me plug in my hot glue. I can put some hot glue there to keep that sharp edge from hurting anyone. So let me get my glue going. So I'm just going to work these little birds back and forth. No one is going to see this edge because it's going to be all covered up. There. So, whoa, these things are a little heavy. So there, I got my little birds off. So I'm just going to set them over here, get them out of the way. And I'm just going to heat up my glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a bead of hot glue right here along the edge where this is rough. So that way no one will cut their finger. So now what I want to do is I want to take our little snowman. Isn't he cute? You can find this snowman at Walmart, and he's actually a tree topper. He's actually a tree topper, but isn't he just the most cutest thing you've ever seen? I love his little nose. Everything about him I love. I just love. He was, I don't think there's a price on it, but he wasn't that expensive, guys. But you'll find him over in the Christmas section of Walmart. So that's what you're going to be looking for, is this tag. All right, so I'm just going to throw that away. So now what we're going to do is, as soon as my glue gets heated up, we are going to hot glue. We're going to put hot glue all the way around the inside lip of this. And we are going to place him directly on top and hold that. Okay? We're going to hold that. Once it's set, I'm going to take some more hot glue, and right where the snowman meets the gaps and cracks, I'm going to run a bead of hot glue all the way around that edge. And he should be on there nice and sturdy. Okay? So I'm just waiting on my glue to heat up. So while we're doing that, and I told you this is our first step, let's go over some of the items that I have. So you'll notice in the supply sheet, I told you to get a box of the flocked garland. You're going to be using a lot of that in different projects. This flocked garland is the best way to put a base down on your gaps and cracks to start decorating. And just let me show you. We're going to bend this. We're going to use our floral pins. And look, that will start you a base right there. So what I did was I cut 2 pieces. This is roughly about 12 inches. I cut 2 of them. One's going to go around this way. The other one will go around that way. I could have cut just one continuous piece, but I thought I can control this a lot better by just cutting two separate pieces and mounting them on with my floral pins and then adding some hot glue on top of that. Then once we get that on there and we fluff it up and we're real happy on how that looks, then we're going to move to this greenery. Now this is, I can't remember if I added this to your sheet, but this is the greenery that we used in our last project. You can also find this at Hobby Lobby, and Michael's is just now getting out all their Christmas greenery. So you only need one of these, because what we're going to do is we don't need a lot, but we're going to cut this off and we're going to intertwine some of that green throughout this pine. Okay, and you see the red berries, that's fine, because if you notice in his hat, he's got some red berries up there. So even though this is going to be a very natural looking, it is going to have just a little bit of red, not much. Then the next thing we're going to use will be two of these picks. These came from Hobby Lobby. You'll find them in the Christmas pick section where they have all the little bins. And this is just the snowflake. We're going to be taking this all apart, and we're going to be using these beautiful pine cones. The item number for this is, if I can see it, 507791. So we'll be using two of these. Next, again, you can find this at Hobby Lobby in the pick section. And we're just going to be breaking these apart and kind of adding that in there just to give it more texture. You'll only need two of these. And this item number is 508056. Then, and I love this. They're like sticks. They have little ice crystals on there. It's kind of hard to see with these little baby pine cones. Excuse me. I told you on your supply sheet to get two of these. We could probably get away with one, but that's okay. Get two, because you can use this in another project. It's $4.99. Everything is 50% off. The Christmas stuff is, I think, 40 or 50. I can't remember. So it's not going to go to waste, guys. The item number on this one is hang on, I can't see it. 5804547. So we're going to be breaking this apart, and we're going to be adding some sticks in here. All right. And then lastly, the last two items to give it these little balls, these little crystal balls, look like little snowballs. I grabbed two of these. That gives me 6. That's probably a little too many. 3 is probably all I'll need. But again, we can use these somewhere else. I'll probably use these. What I don't use here, I'll probably use with the mannequin head. So the item number for this is 5853791. And then snowflakes. You got to have snowflakes. Now, these are some snowflakes that I had left over. You can also use the box snowflakes from Walmart. Whatever you guys choose. But you'll want some snowflakes. Now, I'm probably not going to put a bow on this, but I did bring out some ribbon to show you in case you wanted to add a bow. And I just grabbed some that I thought might look real pretty with this. So let me just bring these over. So since he is a snowman and we are going to have touches of red, I brought this one over. It's red with the black hat and green. So, I mean, you could definitely make a bow and have it hanging off the side here. That would be pretty. And you can find this particular one at Hobby Lobby. Another one I thought was cute, and this is just a piece, but you can get this at Hobby Lobby. No, this came from Michael's. It's green and it's got the little, looks like cross stitch, little trees. So, and I thought this was real pretty. So you could definitely do a ribbon or bow with that one. Another one I brought, if you wanted to introduce a little bit of blue, and this is a 1 inch. Those last two that I showed you were a 2 inch. This is a dark, dark navy blue with snowflakes on it. But see how that blue looks really, really pretty with that. So you could use the blue, or if you wanted to go something, this one came from Hobby Lobby, and this is a mixture of silver and blue, and it's that frosty blue. Look at that frosty blue. It's like an ombre look. And look how pretty that would look. So if you wanted to add a bow, you could certainly do that. And all I would do, guys, is I would do a 2-loop bow. I would just make a 2-loop bow. Nothing too big. You don't want it too big. And see, that could go right on the side like that, kind of down low. And then you could curl the ends, or you could dovetail them. And then you could put like a little ornament, or, you know, anything in the center. So I would just do something like that. And actually these loops I think are a little too big. So, you know, just kind of play with it if you want to add a bow. I'm not going to be adding a bow on this project, but that's why I wanted to bring out a couple different varieties of ribbon that I thought would look really good with this. And it shows you how, you know, versatile that is. So you've got the blue and silver ombre. You got that navy blue with the snowflake print. You got this pretty red with the black hats, or we've got this cream color with the trees. And all of this you can find locally. Oh, I have one more here. I forgot that one. This one, this is just a white. I'm not going to take it out of the package, but this is white. Well, let me take it out because you guys can't see it. This is a 2-inch white satin. And it has snowflakes on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it has little silver snowflakes. So see, that would be very subtle, but you could also add this one. So there's some ideas for ribbon. Like I said, I'm not going to be adding any ribbon to this project. Okay, so I think my glue is heated up now. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. So I'm just going to flip this over. And I'm going to add a good amount of glue all the way around that lip. And I'm going to keep this upright. I don't want that glue to be dripping down. Make sure you have a fresh glue stick in here, which I just had to put one in. All right, and then just find whatever side, it doesn't matter. And now we're going to take this, flip it upside down, and we're going to put it on here and press down and get it as level as possible. And I'm just going to hold this for a few minutes with some pressure pushing down on it. I'm going to give it just a few minutes, and then I'm going to go back with my hot glue, like I said, and put a bead of hot glue right along the seam where the snowman and the gaps and cracks meet. And that should hold him really well. Now, this is such a cute idea. You could make these, you could make a couple of them if you wanted to. They could flank your, just say your fireplace mantle, a buffet in the dining room. This would be cute to sit on the kitchen counter. This would be also cute to sit in your entryway. If you have an entryway where there's a table there, that would be really cute. Take it to work, sit it on your desk, sit it on the reception desk. So there's a lot of different ways that this can be used. All right, so now I'm just going to run some glue all the way around that seam. Don't worry about if the glue starts to drip a little bit. All this is going to be hidden. Okay, now let me find those two spots. I'm just going to put a bead of glue right along that edge. I'll probably have to build it up with a little bit of glue because I certainly don't want anyone to hurt themselves because that is jagged. I mean, it is metal. Okay, we're going to let all this dry. And let me just, I'm going to press down on him a little more. So we're going to give this just a few minutes and let this set. And then we're going to start adding our greenery. And this is going to, you're going to see how quickly this all comes together. And it's such a cute idea. You could even add right here on his, I don't know if you can see that. Right here, you could add a little cluster of berries, red berries right here. That would be real cute just to add a little bit of red that kind of draws the eye down because he does have a little bit of red berries in his hat. Not much. Whoops, sorry, you can't see that. Not much, but you could add a little bit more up here. You could add a little cluster down here, just to kind of draw the eye down. Okay. All right, I think he is on there really good. Okay, guys, so now what we're going to do, let me just set him up. We're going to take one of our pieces of garland and we're just going to fluff it out. And yes, this stuff does come off, so make sure you have something down that catches it, that you can take it outside and shake, all right? And then you're going to need your floral pins. So let me bring this back. And I'm just going to curve this because this is wired. And I'm going to get some floral pins out. Once you get this first piece on and get that floral pins in, you can go back and add some glue to those floral pins. If you notice, I did not add any moss to this because we're not going to need it. First of all, you're not going to be able to see the gaps and cracks. Once we start getting all of our stuff on here, you are not going to see the gaps and cracks at all. And I'm adding a lot of floral pins because I do not want this to come out. See how quickly you can go ahead and just decorate this. So I'm going to go back where the floral pins are, and I'm going to shoot some glue right on top of the pins. There we go. This is a little piece that fell, so I'm just going to poke a hole. Just add a little glue right there. All right, now we're going to flip this around and we're going to do the same thing to the back side. We're just going to take this and open it up and fluff it out. If these come off, don't worry about it, because you can just make a little hole like I did that last one. And just stick it, just make a hole into the gaps and cracks, and then you can add it. All right, so we're going to put this one up here. Now I'm using a lot of floral pins because I do not want this to come off. And then I'm going to reinforce it with hot glue. Parker, simmer down. Hey, that's enough, guys. Sorry, y'all. It doesn't take much to get them going. I'm just going to keep adding floral pins all the way around till I know this is real secure. See, I have a little gap right there. So I'm just going to take this loose one. I'm just going to poke it in. Add some hot glue. And bend it where you can't even see that hole. And you do want some pieces kind of draping down. So you definitely want that. Now let me add some glue to where pins were. So no one is going to see that once we start adding more greenery. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the floral pins, and where that spine is, where the greenery opens up, that's what I'm attaching to the gaps and cracks. This one didn't quite stay, so let me pull that pin out and bend it a little more. You have to kind of, I guess, work with it a little bit. Let it know who's boss, right? Now I can add some glue. And then I'm just going to go in a few places and just reinforce it. Because this is our base that everything is going to be attached to. So I want to make sure that this base is not going to come off. You can take these and twist them around just to make sure that they're that the white, the pretty white part is sticking upward. The frosted part, I guess. So, okay, let's just do a once over. See how green that is? I'm just taking that and flipping it. So now you can see the frosted part. Okay. All right. So there we go. So there is, see how easy that was, guys? So easy. And I only used, gosh, maybe 20 inches of that garland. And that's a 9-foot garland. So I have a lot of garland left to decorate with. All right. Next up, we're going to use our greenery, our darker greenery. And I'm just going to take this, let me set this back a little bit. I'm just going to take this and break it apart. And then the rest of these I'm just going to pull off. All right. And let me just cut this tag off. So this came from Michael's. This is a Michael's item. And the tag number for this greenery is 559840. And you can find this over in their greenery department, their Christmas greenery department. And they are putting this stuff out now. So I'm just going to take this, the bigger pieces, and I'm just going to bend them in a circle. like that. Just gonna bend them in a circle. All right, so let me just slide all these over and bring this back to the forefront. So now we are just going to start kind of weaving this in. I'll go back and add my glue here in just a second, but right now I just want to weave this in. And you see how it's got a little bit of the red, a little bit of the berries. And just keep adding and adding until you're satisfied of where everything is placed. And these smaller pieces like this, I'm just holding them together and putting some glue right along the top. And then I can open up this foliage and just place it in there, and that green, that glue will adhere to the foliage. I see one more spot, and then we're going to anchor down the bigger pieces. I'm just going to take this and bend it. If you want to, you can get a few more of your floral pins. Well, that's not going to stay. We're just going to add a little bit of hot glue right where it touches the greenery. So now we are getting ready to move on to our next thing. So again, you want some of it hanging down. Oh, here's one more piece. Let's find a home for this guy. I think there's quite a bit on the front. So let's just kind of rotate it around, see if I see any bald spots. And if I don't see any bald spots, I'll just pop it in right there. There. That's perfect. All right. So how is that looking so far, guys? Isn't this just turning out so cute? Okay, so next thing is up. We're going to go ahead and use some of these. So what I want to do is I want to completely break this apart. Completely break it apart. Let me just slide this over. And like I said, I know I have two of them here. I don't know if we're going to need to. Because we have so many other, things going in here. Just pull it all apart. Yes, this is very messy. I have a mess going on down here, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. I even want to use these sticks. That's texture, guys. Got to use the sticks. All right. See these sticks? I'm going to just curl it. See how I did that? Just curl it. Separate it out. If you want to, you can just cut that. If you don't need this one, but you want to add another stick in there, just find where that stick is. You'll have to spread this apart and just pull it out if you want to. So now let's go in and let's add these. I think these are going to be sweet. So I'm just going to add some hot glue to the bottom. And we're just going to pop them in and kind of play with them a little bit, Now, the long piece right here, that can go right into the gaps and cracks. But see how I'm just kind of, this is all bendable, so I'm just kind of like bringing it to life a little bit. So I'm just pushing that all the way into the gaps and cracks. And then I'm weaving it through my greenery. So I think one is going to be plenty. Then I have one more. I'm going to put that directly in the back. Okay, so I think that's more than enough of these frosted pieces. So I'm just going to hold that off to the side. Now I want to add my pine cones. So I'm just going to add some glue right there to where that little piece comes up, and I'm going to place one right there. Add some more glue. Now I like these long pine cones. So I think I'm going to use the rest of those pine cones off of this one. So I am going to use these. I wish you guys could hear the wind outside. Oh my gosh. It is just crazy, crazy out there. All right, so we're going to put one over here. So I want to just evenly disperse these. I have 6 of these pine cones, the bigger ones. So I just want to evenly disperse them. And then I have one left. And I think I'm just going to put that one right here. I'm going to put this one down low in the front. Maybe off to one side. Let's see. Okay, so there we have our pine cones. All right. And I just like this little stick, so I'm just gonna just put it in somewhere. I don't know, maybe I'll just plop it in right here. And I think I am gonna use this other one. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this apart. I know, I'm not gonna use these because I do have another project that I can use these on. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull these apart just so I can get to the stick, because I like these sticks and I want them in the front. I just think they add a little bit of character. I just got to peel this paper off. Let me just do this. Now I'm going to take the stick and I'm going to just use my finger and curl it like that. And I have one right here. I'm going to take the other one and I'm going to put it just on the other side of him. Just add some glue. And I'm just going to find me a spot and pop that in. Out. And don't burn your fingers. And there, I got the sticks in. I just like that. It's just got that natural look to it. All right. So now I'm going to just set these off to the side because I am going to use these in another project. All right. So next I want to add some of these. And we're going to just start off with one. Just one, because you can see this is really starting to build up. So you get three individual pieces. Now this is a lot different than this one. A lot different. You can see the green. This is all white and it's frosty. Very, very frosty. So we're just going to add these in. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use all, see what a difference that makes. Huge difference. And remember, like I always say, guys, if you are unsure about something, don't put it on, kind of live with it, and you can always go back and add it. Remember, once you've added it, it's glued in, it's kind of hard to take that back, right? So it's best to just sometimes kind of live without it and just kind of, look at it for a few hours, say, okay, do I really, really want it? And if you really, really want it, then I sound like that girl band from If You Really, Really Want It, then you can add it. So I only added 3. I have 3 more here I can add. So I'm just going to hold off because remember, we got more stuff going in. Okay, so next we're going to use the twigs. Now again, I'm only going to use one of these. Just one. So I'm going to take these apart. These twigs are put together in clusters. See? And I just love these. I love texture. So I'm just going to pull them out, get rid of the paper. Same thing with these little pine cones. I'm just going to pull these out. Some of them come in clusters, some of them don't. Some of these I'm just going to cut because I don't need them to be that long. And I don't think I'm going to need two. So I'm just going to stick with one. Let me take the tag off of this one. And let me give you the number on this one again. It is 580-4547. Now you don't have to add, remember guys, these are the things that I'm using. You don't have to use the same thing I use. If you see something that you want to use instead, by all means, go for it. If you want to give this a completely different look, by all means, go for it. So I'm just going to have these twigs sticking out. I'm probably going to shorten them up just a little. I'm just going to twist them and shorten them up a little. And then once I get them in, I can expand them. So I'm just going to add some glue to the end. I'm just going to find me a spot and I'm going to just put that into the gaps and cracks. And then I'm going to spread these out. These are bendable. I'm going to come over on this side. And then I have a third one. Like I said, I don't want to add a lot. I'm just going to we'll put this one in the back. And you can take these apart too. If you don't like that clustered look, take them apart and just put them in, you know, a few in different places. And these can bend. So you can bend them down if you don't want them sticking straight up. Now we're going to add the little pine cones. Now on these pine cones, you can see they have that long piece. I'm going to use that, to be quite honest with you. I'm just going to put some glue right here on the tip. And then I'm just going to slide them in. That way I can reach the center. They're sticking onto the greenery, but you can see them jetting out, which is what I want. And we're almost done. All we have are 2 more items to add. I think putting these in one by one is better than a cluster. See, like this one's in a cluster. So I'm going to just cut those apart. That way I can control exactly where I want these to go. Now you see why I say I probably wasn't going to do a bow. If you were going to add a bow, you definitely want to leave some space for your bow. Now you can still add your garland, but you'll need to leave a space open without putting anything else around that garland, so you'll have a place to put your bow. So for example, let's say if you wanted to put your bow right here. Let me just raise this up. If you wanted to put your bow right here off to the side, you don't want to add this greenery or this or this. You want to keep it kind of pushed up against the side, maybe even separated a little bit, so that way you can get your bow nestled in between some of the greenery. So that's another reason why I didn't want to add a bow. I just thought, you know, a bow would be too much. You know, you don't have to have bows on everything, right? Don't have to have bows on everything. A lot of people think you do. Nah, you don't. Sometimes I think the prettiest things don't have a bow, you know? So I have 2 more of these left. I just want to find a spot to put them. Now, if you wanted to add more berries, red berries, you certainly could. You could certainly add more red berries. All right. So there we go. All of our pine cones are in. So now all we have left are these and our snowflakes. So let's do these first. I have 3, and I'm just going to cut them, leaving the stem long. And these are, let me give you the number, 5853791. I'm just going to add some glue to the tip, not to the ball. And I'm just going to find me a spot and put it in there. I can, like I said, I can certainly use 3, and I might just do that. We'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I think I will add 3. Even though this is not considered a 360 per se, I just think adding 3 more will look good. So let's just, and they weren't that expensive, guys, really. These were $3.99, half off. I mean, come on. Not that much. Because I want to put some in the back. So just a little glue on the edge. And then I have 1 more, so let's put this one. See, I got 1 there, 1 here. Maybe I'll put this one low in the front. There. All right. Okay, last thing, snowflakes. Now, these are some snowflakes that I had used on another project, and as you can see, I had a steel pick on the ends that I never used. So I'm just going to add some glue to the steel pick, and I'm just going to slide these all the way in to the styrofoam or the gaps and cracks. See the steel pick right here? And we'll put this one right there because it's longer and it can reach down in there. And push the snowflakes as far down as you can get them. here's another one. Just going to add some glue. We'll put this one right here. And you can just put them in any old way. It doesn't matter. Any way you see fit. Have them peeking out. See, like that one's peeking out. It really doesn't matter. All right, I have one snowflake left, so I think that one's going to go here in the front somewhere, and I think we're going to put that one right there. This one does not have a stem, so I'm just going to put some glue on one side and just kind of push it in there so it can adhere to the greenery. Okay. Almost done. I just got one little piece here that I want to add. And we can call this done. How sweet. I love it. Oh, this is so cute. This turned out great. I love how it turned out. Okay. So there we go, guys. Check it out. And then you can just pull some of this down so it kind of drapes down a little bit. Just kind of pull them down, kind of play with them. There you go. Oh, isn't that sweet? Now, if these are too long, you can just trim them up a little bit. You don't have to have these as long. Don't make them all the same, you know, like they've had a haircut, but you can trim these up so they're not sticking out so long. But it just gives you a little bit of a texture. There. There you go, guys. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now, I don't have any red berries with me at the moment. I don't think, no. So I'm going to add some little red berries right here. Right there. I'm going to add some little red berries and it will be complete. Okay? And I have snow all over me. But that's okay. It's worth it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I hope this inspires you to go out and make something so fun. This would be easy to ship. You're thinking, yeah, right. But really, it will be. You'll just want to put a lot of bubble wrap around this and then put a bag over it. And just get you a box. And slide it down, maybe get some peanuts, styrofoam peanuts to put in there, but this will be okay to ship. It's really not that heavy. I would say maybe a couple pounds worth. But you can see why I wanted to put the gaps and cracks up high. Because if I didn't, he would be sitting so low and you would only see like this much of him. That's why I wanted him up high. You can still see all this pretty part of him, and he's not buried deep down in there. So, okay, guys, thank you so much. Please post pictures if you make one of these. I want to see your version. You don't have to use what I use, but you know, make it your own and have fun. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.